This elderly guy sits on the stoop of the Baptist care facility opposite my office downtown. He's thin, alone, and slightly smelly. Don't give him nothing, the skettle down the street advises. Any money him get, him take it and buy a number. Him never deal with them children good, so now them not notice him, explains her friend. Notwithstanding, I gave him $100, a bills. Me I go buy a $70 biscuit and take time eat it. That will hold me for the day, he thanked me. Yes, it's true, sometimes me take the change and buy numbers. But what if you do? Silver and red money can't buy nothing, but every few weeks I get lucky and win all $700 and then I can eat good. And even when my number don't play, if I stay outside the betting shop, somebody who win might get sorry for me and leave us small money. The vocabulary is changing with the devaluation. Some people are calling what used to be a grand a bills. After all, it takes almost $1,000 now to buy what $100 used to purchase a few years ago. A grand is not grand anymore. Ask any pensioner. My old friend, who is actually younger than I, can only think about his food needs and knows little about COVID or national issues. Let me quote him. You can find somewhere to lie down, wear anything to cover your bottom, but belly is an everyday business, he philosophizes. He shakes his head when telling me how ungrateful his children are and blames it on the wicked mother them. He will soon die, disregarded by society, demeaned by his own history. Death will be a release for us who react to human distress and a relief for him. Poverty of pocket begets scant mourning, no requiem at the must-pen cemetery. This is the advancing fate for large numbers of our people, even as the financial sector announces another round of billion-dollar profits, most of it to be expatriated and thus to make the $70 biscuits even dearer. The government, this one, everyone, wastes our taxes, and Delta gets married to Moo. Tell me, how do those sensitive, humane folk who deny God transcendent purpose for life and ultimate justice, how they manage to stay sane? I'm beginning to understand why we need the opiate of incessant bacchanal to distract from the systemic brutality of the street corner. It is fairly easy, if only we wanted to enable people to feed, shelter, and educate themselves. We know how to relieve poverties of pocket. Live simply that others might simply live would be a starting ethic. Or for those guided by the Bible, lightly paraphrased, he who enables the poor lends to the Lord. The harder problem is the escalating poverty of the mind. President Biden realizes that it is impossible to beat COVID while 100 million Americans remain unprotected by vaccination. He is taking some action to enjoin vaccine compliance. Are we doing the same? I know of a worker in a good-paying, health-sensitive job who just lost it for refusing inoculation because her pastor had told her that the vaccine is the mark of the beast, being forced on her by Catholics and Bill Gates. She has no idea who Gates is, by the way, and she covets a place for her grandchild in a Catholic school. This is poverty of the mind. Atrocious because it is irrational, unchristian because it prefers individual prejudice at the price of the safety and life of others. Which charter of rights supports that? If the suasion of the efforts made by the government fail, given the escalation of infections and variants, we need a vaccine mandate within a free and democratic society. What about other bodies of influence? Trade unions, some of the churches, the Duppy Conquerors, and the scared political directorate? Will they oppose people to protect themselves and being enjoined to do so? If not, we're likely to have many more deaths and irredeemable regression in our schools and economy. So what are we really defending as we line up for our CDs and OJs? Look here, you can't build a wholesome society on irrationality and injustice. Poverty of mind is incubated by a mass media which is more influenced by inducements sanctioned by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act than by drilling messages of good health and citizenship. We are better than this. Those of us who have availed all the precautions and respect the ongoing protocols need to stop being willing hostages of those selfish ones who want us to canonize their rights while they are careless of ours. COVID has taken step in our minds as well as our bodies. If the majority of us were to comply with the precautions, I believe it would be possible to reopen schools, operate an efficient and economic transportation system, and reopen businesses, all in reasonable safety. How to enforce and achieve that should be the biggest topic in town. It needs leadership of conscience and a burning commitment to fashion national life in a way that no person should have to endure the poverty of pocket that limits their affordable daily food to a $70 pack of biscuits, or a poverty of mind which allows the advancement of the whole nation to be sabotaged by the induced and culpable ignorance of one section. So, if you choose not to be vaccinated or to deny that COVID is real, feel free to indulge your choice. Nobody is going to hold you down and stick you. But all choices have consequences. So please don't bring your contagious and unprotected self to my workplace or home. And don't expect my tax dollar to subsidize your self-indulgence by continuing to pay you to stay home. A last word. Right now, stop this charade of trying to resurrect virtual schooling till God knows when. There is abundant evidence that it's not working well. At all schools, set up a vaccination center at the gate. Do it now. Those of eligible age and condition, students, as well as teachers and staff, once inoculated, come in and resume classes and activities respecting reasonable protocols. Those who refuse without good cause, please go home and keep trying on your phone or tablet. Hopefully, you will manage, or the God who inspires science will lead you to change your mind. For Jamaicans to live an abundant life, we need to banish both poverty of mind and pocket. In Jesus' name.